Investigation reveals that Mangaluru blast accused Shareeq posed as a Hindu was the plot to push the Hindu terror narrative. The plot was larger than what it seems. Investigators believe Shareeq wanted to target a busy flyover. Meanwhile, Republic tracks Shareeq's moves. Lodge owner of Coimbatore, where Shareeq stayed, makes massive revelation. Aam Aadmi Party's physio defence crumbles. Tihar jail sources have revealed that the person giving massage to Satyendra Jain is a rape accused. Hardeep Singh Puri responds to Zakir's presence in Qatar, but still no first stand from Indian government on the issue. Aftab tells the court it was a fit of rage, another of Aftab's tales to mislead the investigators.
One of the key items was a triangulation point of an AK-47 gun, a weapon, which was kept here.
The footage that captures the blast. The clinching recoveries. The only channel to trace Shareeq's moves. New suspects under lens. With the scale of the plot out. With the target Hindutva conspiracy clear, can the jihadi terror threat be ignored? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
For the longest time, ladies and gentlemen, you were told that there isn't any jihadi terror network that exists in southern India. What turns out over the last few months is a clear resurgence of jihadi terror in southern India, starting from Coimbatore and now Mangaluru. The Mangaluru terror plot has now grown bigger, where in a crucial development we learned that the Mangaluru auto rickshaw blast accused Shareeq was plotting to plant the bomb at the Pumpwell flyover, which is one of the busiest roads in the city. Republic has been tracking every move of the Mangaluru blast accused. We have tracked down the very lodge where Shareeq had stayed when he was in Coimbatore. We play out that interview in a short while from now. But what also turns out is that a clear pattern. What happened in Coimbatore and now in Mangaluru. It turns out that Shareeq was essentially posing as a Hindu while he was carrying out recce of all the targets. Before we get into this, we're also getting in a big breaking news in the Shraddha murder case. The polygraph test in the Shraddha murder case has already started, is what we are given to understand. This comes after the Delhi police had moved an application where we're being now given to understand that the court had granted the permission and Aftab's polygraph test is basically underway. Top Delhi sources also indicating that they have gathered more evidence in the case. I'll just quickly take you through some of the details that we know so far with regards to the investigation that's been carried out so far. In fact, Delhi police sources also indicate that there have been some bloodstains that have been found in the bathroom and kitchen from the very place where Aftab and Shraddha were staying. Delhi police may take Aftab to Maidangadi Pond and all those areas where Aftab had identified on a map that was presented before him. The map was of Mehroli. The bloodstains we are picking up is that were found from the examination done by the CFSL officials. Now, that's the latest that's coming in, but the polygraph test also now taking place at FSL Rohini, where we're now being told that it has already started. That's the latest details we are now picking up. Anuj is joining us on this broadcast. Anuj, walk us through the details that you're picking up right now. This was expected now that his further custody has been granted. Polygraph test is already underway at FSL Rohini.
Well, exactly, Javan. This is the next step of investigation. And if you talk about the investigation, now this has been, has been taken to the next level, where earlier we do remember it was a blood stain which was found in the kitchen under a cylinder. And now what we have been told that important clue has been found from the bathroom tiles of Aftab flat. That is going to be very, very important. It has been broken. The tiles has been already taken for the testing. Now the CFSL team is also that we do understand, and what we have been told that this is going to take 2 weeks time when it's going to come out. On the other hand, the teams, FSL team and the CFSL, we do understand is working on the same. The evidences have been already collected, and also have been informed that yes, this is the new friend with one friend of Aftab and Shraddha, and he was selling drugs. He was in the business of selling drugs, and Aftab used to take the drugs from him. As we have been informed earlier, also there is an angle which has been given by Aftab of that he was a drug addicted. We do not know as Aftab is trying to mislead or trying to give this information to mislead the investigation, because we have seen it and has been told by our top sources that Aftab is again and again changing his statement. As he pointed out earlier, that he has thrown the brain part in the Mangaluru jungle. Later he stated that now it has been done in the Gurugram jungle. So there, again and again, he is trying to mislead, but the investigation is going on. Yes.
Thank you very much, Anuj, for getting us that big breaking news on Aftab's polygraph test, which is underway at FSL Rohini. Shifting focus now to the top story of the day, the Mangaluru blast case, which is also being closely tracked by Republic TV. In fact, we have now tracked down the very lodge where Shareeq was staying. In fact, his owner has spoken to my colleague Varshini. Listen.
This is the place apparently where Shareeq stayed for 3 days when he came to Coimbatore during the month of September, and where he had met Surinder, the person under whose Aadhaar card the SIM card used Shareeq in Mangaluru was registered. We have the proprietor of this home, Mr. Kamraj, with us. He will give us more details about what really happened here. So first of all, please tell us, when did this happen? Like, we hear that Surinder was a regular client here, and later on he had met Shareeq here, and this is where they became friends. So there's a lot of things happen
separately.
Okay. So we are hearing a lot of things about how they became friends here and all that. Can you give us a little bit of detail about when Surinder came here, what happened, and how did they become friends? Are you aware that Shareeq was a person of suspect who was staying here?
Surinder was staying more than 1 month like that, I think. That fellow, we don't know Shareeq, but in the name of Gauri, one fellow from Karnataka, he is staying on 3rd September. On that day, Surinder was staying in the next bed. It is a common bed. It is a common hall. We are having around 20 beds in the hall. So he is staying in the next bed.
Okay.
So they are becoming friends, and he is for what reason he has purchased that SIM card, we don't know actually.
Okay, sir, we hear that Surinder was also a person that you were not very happy because of his habits. Can you give us an explanation about how his conduct was when he stayed here?
After that only we found that he is alcoholic. But we are not encouraging that behavior within our lodge. So when we came to know that he is becoming alcoholic, we refused to entertain that. And so we refused to accommodate him also in this lodge. So we vacated and went back on the September itself.
Okay.
In fact, now we're also getting to learn that Shareeq was a repeat offender and had conducted a trial blast in Shivamoga. Republic TV has now tracked down the very spot where the trial blast was conducted by Shareeq. My colleague Prajwal gets us this report. Take a look.
We're here on the banks of Tungabhadra River where the accused in the Shimoga trial blasts were caught, and this is the very same spot where the trial blast was conducted, and right now we are here at the spot, and there were recoveries made in terms of in terms of chemicals which was obtained, explosive materials, nuts and bolts, relay circuits, batteries and wires, and also a half burnt Indian flag, and this is exactly the spot which Shareeq, Yasin and Maz Munir Ahmad had gone on to conduct a series of trial blasts right on the banks of Tungabhadra River. Because if you just pan towards the right, you can clearly see that this is the Tungabhadra River, and there is a small check dam which is right here, and from what we understand, the local state that usually this is quite an isolated place, and people never used to come to this particular spot until the day they realized that the trial blast had been carried out by Shareeq, Maz and also Yasin, who was one of the prime accused. Under the branches of this tree, under the roots of this tree particularly, this is exactly where where all the explosive substances, all the explosive materials were hid by the accused as well. And from here, the cops went on to recover shrapnel, nuts and bolts, pieces of glasses, and also the chemicals which were used for the blast too, and they were kept aside as well. And there were several blasts conducted over here, not one but many blasts which were conducted here, and also they used to stay here through the night, and they used to make sure that nobody was present at the point of time when they were visiting. And we can see that this is a farm which is right next, this is a farm which is right next to the blast place, but even the owners of this farm who spoke to Republic off record have gone on to state that they absolutely had no idea that such a terror plot was brewing at this particular place.
In fact, we are getting some more details on the investigation that's been carried out by the Mangaluru police. A preliminary report of the investigation essentially stating that the pressure cooker bomb was a high intensity one. In fact, such was the intensity, if it would have exploded, then an entire bus would have actually turned into ashes. And a 3-liter cooker bomb was filled to the brim with an explosive gel. That's the latest now we're picking up. My colleague Aneri getting us the latest details. Aneri, quickly take us through the details that you're picking up. The preliminary investigation essentially indicating that this was intended to be a high-intensity blast, unlike what we were given to understand right on the very day when the incident took place, indicating that this was a low-intensity blast.
That's right, Chavan. The main aim was to create unrest and also create panic among the people. And now what we are learning is that according to our sources and the preliminary investigation which has been taken up, well, the aim of this blast was much bigger. They had an high intensity, they were planning to do an high intensity blast, but then we also see that this 3-liter cooker which was which had IED in it and which blasted on Saturday had a full of gelatin, had gel in it, and also later they had plans that they were planning to do a bigger blast. But now we see that this IED blast which has taken place on Saturday here in the outskirts of Mangaluru city, we see that this has been a big terror breakout which has been done, because the Chief Minister of Karnataka has also stated that Karnataka police has handed over near about 18 sleeper cells and they have been sent to Tihar jail. So definitely a big statement coming in from the Chief Minister as well, and further investigation is being underway into this matter, as the main accused into this case is still undergoing treatment at the hospital. Police officials say that still we have been looking into various angles.
Thank you very much, Aneri, for getting us the latest details. Republic Media Network, the only network to uncover all angles of the Mangaluru blast. Well, in a very outspoken interview, one of Kashmir Valley's prominent and senior politicians, Sajjad, alone spoke to my colleague Zeerat from targeted killings in the valley to Yasin Malik. Jammu and Kashmir's People Conference chief answers it all. Listen.
What made you to part ways when you put really your blood, sweat, everything to get everybody on board?
My sweet wish. Go on. I'm not talking about it.
What about if you say that, do you still believe that the parties, the regional parties of Jammu and Kashmir, they all should come together and contest elections? What is your take on it?
Look, I will tell you one thing. In 2019, the biggest lesson that we had was that even when they jailed all of us together, it didn't matter on the ground. When you talk of 370, it's a matter which has to be taken by the people of India. If you don't go to courts, the other court is the constitutional court, the people's court. So J&K people alone will not have to decide. If tomorrow elections are held and you get all 90 seats, doesn't mean those 90 seats can get Article 370 back.
Yeah.
I think
you need bigger number.
Yeah. So the need that today is how many parliament seats can you convince of the need to give it back or have a new relook on Kashmir, on J&K?
While Centre has not taken any step regarding the restoration of Article 370, or for that matter, they have not given any indications as far as the early election is concerned. Why is it so that every party in Jammu and Kashmir, they are not focusing on the main issues, but they are more focusing on mudslinging or calling each other the team A team or the B team of BJP? Even your party was accused as the proxy of BJP. What is your stand on that?
None whatsoever. This is in politicians. Not only, why are you only attacking parties in J&K? Look what they are doing in India and the rest of the country. They are jailing them. Jailing each other. So don't get surprised when somebody calls A team or B team, and I don't want to get into it. I'm on national TV. Why should I call somebody a B team? I won't. I won't.
So is it just to keep the cadre more close? It should be there to keep the cadre close by saying that or by alleging proxy of BJP?
If Delhi holds elections, we will want to know, who stands where. At the end of the day, people have to vote.
Yeah.
Politicians don't have to vote. We all have one vote. So वो तो बाद में मालूम पड़ेगा. Abhi let them say whatever they
You
want.
say that people have to vote. So what is the people's pulse on ground? You have been moving in your constituency. You are interacting with people. So what is the pulse that you have felt?
People, I think, they do feel belittled. They do feel humiliated. And you don't need to be a genius. In a democracy, people do have a sway over their elected representatives. Good or bad, democracy is a concept where people have a bigger say. They would go to their elected representatives, shout at them, why don't you let us in? Why are we waiting? You can't do that with these officers. In one particular case, somebody said something and in the evening he was put under PSA by a DC or jailed, I don't know. So people want a popular government, whosoever it is. Let it be their worst enemy. But they want that there should be people who are accountable, who have to come after 5 years and seek re-election. This is the pulse I felt, and I could be wrong. Maybe the angels that Delhi has sent here in the form of IAS officers and IPS and others, those angels are doing such angelic work that people want them to stay. I haven't met one such person. If you do, kindly, I would also want to have a look at him.
Are you telling that the voice of voiceless is getting choked in present dispensation?
No. I am not saying anything. You tell me. I'm saying when people don't have an outlet. You see, we as politicians are trained to take abuses from people, mingle with them, interact with them. That's our bread and butter. This is not the bread and butter of a bureaucrat. He's trained to be away from people, to write on files. So yes, there is that vacuum which is there.
That needs to be filled.
Look, I will tell you something. I will not demand that you hold elections and it should be filled. आज का हीरो कल का विलन भी हो सकता है. Those who are calling the shots today will have to answer. History will judge them very harshly for these periods, mark my words. These very same people of India who today are unsure about what is happening in Kashmir, in one day rise and say what nonsense was happening there.
Since you talked about Yasin Malik, but Yasin was involved in so many things, so many incidents, and that is why he is languishing in jail. Then there are other separatist leaders. It's more like a crackdown on terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. Aren't you happy now that the boys are not getting killed? There is no hartal call, the business is running smooth, or at least the kids are going to school. Let's take this instead of going on.
Why should I be unhappy? Of course I'm happy. Of course I'm happy. I'm very happy. And this is how law and order should be. But it's very easy to brush aside and say that terrorists are in jail. Who is a terrorist and who is not a terrorist has to be decided. And tell me one thing, if in 87 you rig a system that till now 60,000-70,000 people have died, now one side you are put in jail, okay fine, what about the other side? When will you put them in jail? When will you at least seek answers? Why did you do this? Why are there so many graveyards filled with bodies pumped with bullets? When will you do that? You don't want to do that.
What do you have to tell those people who are trying to target, or they are killing the people when they are in deep sleep? What do you have to tell those people who are targeting vendor, laborer?
They will rot in hell. They will go to hell and the others will go to heaven. That's my belief. Right? They are victims of the worst perpetrators. And I have my belief they will rot and rot in hell. Kya kar sakte hain? This is, this is what they have done. I mean, so we have lost dear ones. I lost my own father to such cowards. What do you do? But these attacks, I can tell you, you cannot stop because these are lunatic, isolated attacks. And we as Kashmiris, because it happens mostly in Kashmir, even we can't do anything. We are targets, we are victims. So, for example, जब ये होता है, there should be no anger against us because we are, हमारे भी तो लोग मारे गए हैं इन्हीं लोगों से.
Last time there was an all-party meet called by Prime Minister.
Yeah.
You were part of it. That time Prime Minister said, दिल और दिल्ली की दूरी को कम करना है. Right? What happened then after you met or the others met Prime Minister? Wasn't that on a positive note?
We were all
Whatever
positive.
was promised, wasn't it delivered? Whatever happened between...
Look, I'll tell you something. He is the Prime Minister of the country and, for him everybody is equal. So he has made a statement. So I think the onus is on him to measure the distance.
Wasn't it delivered what was promised?
The Prime Minister made the statement, and I think, we should better be asking him than me. He would be
You were
able
the part of the meeting.
No, he will be able to talk about that statement, whether the distance has, has increased or decreased.
Anyways, among all regional parties, we have been seeing Mehbooba Mufti of PDP more in confrontation with centre. Is it a ploy or an act that her stance gives her party an edge over the upcoming elections? How do you view as an opponent of Miss Mufti?
I wouldn't, and I should not be, I worked and I should not be commenting on one person, one individual. I should not be commenting. So, you see, I'll tell you something, and I'm not talking about Miss Mufti. Confrontation with centre asked me, because I went to jail. I've been interrogated.
She too was
right?
almost...
Oh, yeah, that was, I do agree. But that was, I'm talking of the other jail, Papa 2, right? That was a very notorious jail. And we're talking of third degree interrogation. Other Kashmiris also. When this confrontation, I don't think it helps the people of Kashmir.
Okay.
Right? We should not confront, because we have to get something out of them.
So no need to take confrontation with centre?
First get and then take confrontation.
Okay.
Don't start now. Why are you trying to impede something?
Sajad Lone saying Miss Mufti,
No,
don't take confrontation with centre.
No, I did not talk about her. Please do not misquote me. I said I should not be talking about her. I have worked under her. But as a concept, I am saying is that what we need today, or the leadership today needs, is to rise to the occasion and see how we can convince, facilitate deliverance from New Delhi. let us start with the statehood first, and then talk about Article 370. Then talk about elections. These are things which can be done, creating an environment in the entire country where people of India should ask them, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you giving them statehood back? Why aren't you holding elections there? So in today's world of media, of digitalization, so many voices come, and the way they misrepresent and misinterpret, what happens is a villainous image of an average Kashmiri is constructed in the entire country, which I think is detrimental and bad for us. I believe that as a political worker, I should stop that. I should impede that and try to create a much more friendlier image of an average person from J&K, so that we have people with us. As I told you, even if we get 90 seats, we cannot restore our lost political legacy, which means Article 370, which means statehood, which means getting back to a popular rule, because the decision has to be taken in Delhi. This is something which we need to understand, that this assembly or these people, the power has been taken away from us, we have been disempowered. Yes. And empowerment will flow from there. And we have to convince and create pressure across the country. So that's what I feel we should be doing.
So this is a massive twist to the Tihar massage gate controversy. Who really is this man? Who's this man giving a massage to Satendra Jain? The Aam Aadmi Party said, look, this is only physiotherapy. But now it has been confirmed that this man is actually a rape accused. What will the Aam Aadmi Party say now? And why is Satendra Jain still a minister? That's the biggest story tonight at 7 with me on Republic.
Sources at the Forensic Science Laboratory in Delhi stated that the laboratory has been approached by the Delhi police as further. Aftab's polygraph test is possible today. In fact, preparations were reported to be underway with expectations of the test to be conducted today.
Several people, including 8 children, were killed on Sunday after a truck rammed into a roadside settlement in Bihar's Vaishali district.
Very shocking incident coming to light from UP, where ex-lover has been arrested in killing of a woman whose body was chopped and found in a well.
BJP MLA MP Kumaraswamy was beaten up by angry villagers near the Kudur district in Mudiger. Sources said that there was a public outcry against the authorities.
Roundup of news in brief. BJP at a press conference following the development of one of the masseurs of the jailed Minister Satendra Jain being a POCSO accused convict. The BJP has accused the AAP of engaging in a barter system of providing protection in turn of protection. Speaking at a press conference, AAP leader stated that while they would have a look at all the stings and allegations being produced.
Zakir Naik is a state guest of Qatar. The same Zakir Naik who's banned in the United Kingdom and Canada, for example, for being a troublemaker, just like for India. Why is the world silent? Why can't everyone unite and come together to read the riot act to Qatar? All this and more at 8:30 p.m. on The Burning Question tonight. Republic investigation uncovers ISIS module links. Hindu leaders were on the hit list.
Surendra was staying more than 1 month like that, I think. That fellow, we don't know Shareeq, but in the name of Gauri, one fellow from Karnataka, he is staying on 3rd September.
He posed as a Hindu, used fake ID. Shareeq was attempting to float the Hindu terror narrative. Bihar jail sources have revealed that the person giving massage to Satendra Jain is a rape accused. Day after Kejriwal reiterated physiotherapy defense, AAP's physio defense crumbles. Shraddha murder accused undergoing polygraphy test as we speak. Hardeep Singh Puri responds to Zakir's presence in Qatar, but still no first stand from the Indian government on the issue. All right, good evening and welcome this 6:30 p.m. live and breaking, friends. Let's begin with a breaking news development, and it is about the gory, gruesome Shraddha murder probe in which the main accused, the only accused in fact, Aftab, is now undergoing a polygraph test. It's happening at the FSL in Delhi, the forensic science lab of the Delhi police in North Delhi, in Rohini area of Delhi. And Aftab's polygraphy test is progressing as we speak. Remember, earlier in the day, his police custody was extended by 4 days, and a polygraphy test was allowed yesterday. That's happening today, following which it's likely that a narco test would also happen. These are all forensic aids that the investigators use essentially to gather more evidence based on whatever answers the accused gives. We'll try and connect with Anuj. He's reporting from the ground. Aftab's polygraphy test going on at the FSL Rohini in Delhi. And is Anuj there? If I can connect to him and try to understand what time was he brought in, what time the test is started, how long it's going to go on. Polygraphy test of Aftab Punewala, the main accused the only accused in fact in the Shraddha murder case, is happening as we speak, and this polygraphy test is often also called a lie detector test. Essentially, what happens is that the accused who's to be questioned is strapped with a certain device which has some physiological indicators that can be monitored, such as blood pressure, the pulse rate, the heartbeat, the respiration, skin conductivity, among others. And what happens is, if when questions are given to the accused, based on the answers, the physiological parameters vary, and that's something based on which the investigators come to a conclusion whether the person is lying or not. So, for example, if a person is lying, it is believed that he might perspire a little more, his heart rate might increase, and hence pulse rate might increase, and that gives investigators an idea whether the answer being given is right or wrong. So that's a polygraphy test, or as it is called, a lie detector test. And there are challenges before the Delhi police in the Shraddha murder probe, given the fact that it's almost 6 months and not all body parts have been recovered. The DNA test is still as yet uncertain. Let's go to Piyush Ori. He's reporting live for us from outside the lab where this polygraphy test is happening. Piyush, can you tell us what time the polygraphy test is started? Could you speak to the investigators before it started? Have they given you any idea of what's going to be the process like, how much time it's going to take, and what are investigators expecting out of this polygraphy test?
Well, Abhishek, as of now, what we've been told is that the Delhi police has given the instructions and orders to the FSL experts for carrying out this polygraphic test, a test which is very important to ascertain the facts that have been mentioned by Aftab to the Delhi police. But as of now, it's still not clear of when exactly this test is going to be held. I'm right now reporting from the DCP South headquarters, where just a few minutes back, the Delhi Police Commissioner was over here, and he just had an important meeting with all the investigating officials over here and took the briefing of what exactly needs to be done in this Shraddha murder case. So yes, the conducting of polygraphic tests and subsequently the narco test was also discussed. So what I can tell you right now from here on is that yes, the Delhi police has given instructions to the FSL experts in Rohini to conduct this test. It has been told to them that this test needs to be conducted in the span of 4 days, the days following which the custody of Aftab is going to get over. But it is still not clear of when this test is going to be conducted. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Piyush, also tell us, since you said that the police commissioner was there at the DCP South office, what's going on in the mind of Delhi police, if you could tell us, given the fact that it's been over 10 days and we are as yet very far perhaps from any conclusive evidence that the police could lay their hands on. So, for example, the murder weapon is yet to be found, the DNA match is still to happen. What is the sense, if you are getting, about the thinking going on in the Delhi police establishment on this case?
So, Abhishek, you rightly mentioned that yes, there are a lot of challenges that are involved in this case, and the Delhi Police Commissioner, along with the several other police officials who have been, seeing this case very closely, have in a way told us that yes, there is a lot of challenge in front of them. So the basic priority for them right now is to get all the circumstantial evidences that may be involved in this case. Now, mind you, this case dates back to 6 months back, when reportedly Aftab murdered Shraddha. So yes, there is no eyewitness. There is no concrete evidence in terms of the CCTV images that were recorded. So what the Delhi police is relying on is on the circumstantial evidence. Now, they have been able to get some bones. What we have been told is that they are also in the process of finding the weapons that were used by Aftab to murder Shraddha. And what they are now trying to do is that they will all send these objects which they have recovered from the forests of Mangaluru to Gurugram, even Uttarakhand, and from the house of Aftab and Shraddha in Chhatarpur to forensics to get the vital detail, to get that link of whether there was some crucial evidence from the objects they have seized, from the bones they have seized from forests of Aravali's and Gurugram. So yes, there is a lot of challenge, and it has been told to us very clearly that the Delhi police is relying on the circumstantial evidence. Back to in the studio.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Piyush Ohri there, giving us details about what's going on insofar as the Shraddha murder probe is concerned. And of course, as we speak, a polygraph test of Aftab going on at an FSL in Delhi. Moving on, and days after Republic exposed the Tihar tapes, today Republic again got you even bigger shocker in the case. While Aam Aadmi Party had claimed that it's the physiotherapist giving the therapy to Satendra Jain, as it could be seen in the videos, it turns out the person is a rape accused, in fact, and has been in Tihar jail since April of this year on charges of raping a minor. He is a POXO accused, as also, of course, various sections of the IPC related to rape, including section 376. And as can be seen from the footage, whatever he is doing to Satendra Jain does not even remotely resemble what a therapy or a physiotherapy is going to look like or should look like. But since it was the defense of the Aam Aadmi Party, with the livid Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister, asking the BJP to be ashamed of itself for politicizing medical treatment, this information that has come out today and blown up on media, that the accused in fact is identified as Rinku, son of Somnath. He is a Delhi resident and he's in Tihar jail since April on charges of raping a minor, and it's likely that he came close to Satendra Jain while in prison. Let's listen into some of the reactions and then come back.
देखिए, पहली बात कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी वो सबसे पहले एक बार अमित शाह जी जब बंद थे गुजरात के जेल में, स्पेशल जेल बनी थी। ना तो इतिहास में भारत के अंदर किसी को वो सुविधा मिली, स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट न मिल सकती है। एक बार ऑन रिकॉर्ड है, सीबीआई ने ऑन रिकॉर्ड पेपर दर्ज किया हुआ है। एक बार वो सामने सबके रख दें कि क्या क्या ट्रीटमेंट दिया था। मसला उसका है ही नहीं। मसला ये नहीं है कि ट्रीटमेंट सत्येंद्र जैन को मिल रहा है। मसला ये है कि 4 तारीख को भाजपा का दिल्ली में ट्रीटमेंट करने जा रही है दिल्ली की जनता, इसलिए परेशानी है।
सत्येंद्र जैन के मसाज से पूरा लोकतंत्र भारत का शर्मसार हुआ था, और तब हमने कहा था ये आम आदमी पार्टी नहीं है, ये स्पा मसाज पार्टी है। कोई और राजनीतिक दल होता और इतना शर्मसार करने वाला कृत्य कि जेल की सलाखों के पीछे एक भ्रष्टाचारी कट्टर बेईमान मंत्री का मसाज होता है कानून का उल्लंघन करते हुए, तो उस पार्टी का मुखिया स्वयं कान पकड़ के जनता से माफी मांगता और कहता कि मुझे माफ कर दीजिए, जो संविधान की शपथ मैंने ली थी उसका पालन मैं नहीं कर पाया हूं। मेरा भ्रष्ट मंत्री जो कृत्य कर रहा है मैं तुरंत उसे बर्खास्त करता हूं। लेकिन बेशर्मी भी जिसे अपना गुरु मानती है वो अरविंद केजरीवाल और अराजक अपराध पार्टी है। आप अराजक अपराध पार्टी।
A major twist came in the Mangaluru blast case wherein the accused Shareeq hid his identity and posed as a Hindu on messaging apps such as WhatsApp, having an image of Isha Foundation in his display picture. Exclusive sources have also stated to Republic that Shareeq had planned to plant the pressure cooker at the Pumpwell flyover in the city, with the attack planned in the evening at the time of highest traffic. Police sources also indicate Shareeq to have stayed in Kerala. A lodge has been located where the accused in the Mangaluru blast stayed. After searching several lodges in the area, this particular place has been confirmed. As per investigation, Shareeq was staying in a lodge in Gandhipuram in Coimbatore in September. The lodge has now been locked and police have summoned the owners for further investigation. Investigations are ongoing to find India's most wanted terrorist Mateen, although his father stated that they haven't been in touch with him since the blast. The AAP's physiotherapy defense of Satendra Jain's massage is now being questioned as one of the masseurs is reported to be a rapist, a person named Rinku who is charged under Section 6 of the IPC, of the POCSO Act. The BJP at a press conference demanded apology following the development of one of the masseurs, Rinku, being a POCSO accused under trial. The BJP accused the AAP of engaging in a barter system of providing services in turn for protection.
सत्येंद्र जैन के मसाज से पूरा लोकतंत्र भारत का शर्मसार हुआ था, और तब हमने कहा था ये आम आदमी पार्टी नहीं है, ये स्पा मसाज पार्टी है। कोई और राजनीतिक दल होता और इतना शर्मसार करने वाला कृत्य कि जेल की सलाखों के पीछे एक भ्रष्टाचारी कट्टर बेईमान मंत्री का मसाज होता है,
Speaking at a press conference, AAP leaders stated that they would have a look at all listings and allegations being produced by the BJP against Satyendra Jain. They claimed as this to be nothing more than a poll stunt.
देखिए, पहली बात कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी को सबसे पहले एक बार अमित शाह जी जब बंद थे गुजरात के जेल में, स्पेशल जेल बनी थी। ना तो इतिहास में भारत के अंदर किसी को वो सुविधा मिली, स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट ना मिल सकती है। एक बार ऑन रिकॉर्ड है, सीबीआई ने ऑन रिकॉर्ड पेपर दर्ज किया हुआ है।
We finally have a minister's voice on the ongoing Zakir Naik controversy. Union Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, while being asked about Zakir, stated that Naik was a Malay national whom he had limited information about, and that his personal views about him were a different matter. He further stated that he was pretty sure India would take the situation forward.
I'm sure India took it up and will take it up, but the point is, he's a Malaysian national, yeah. I mean, he's a Malaysian national. You invite him to somewhere, etc. Whether they knew, I have no knowledge of that. I have as much access to information as you are. You can ask me my views on Zakir Naik. My views and your views are the same on that.
Republic spoke to Kalyan Chaube, president of the All India Football Federation, who's currently in Doha, Qatar for the FIFA World Cup 2022. Chaube spoke about the Indian team but refused to say anything on Zakir Naik.
Being the heading Indian Football Federation, and I'm right now in Qatar and representing India in World Forum, so I cannot comment anything on media regarding this. If there is anything to say, I will speak internally. When you are in a chair, you cannot share your personal thought or own thought. I will speak only